So here we've got Nitori Kawashiro, and the classic Kappa right there. So sort of as a reference to the classic Kappa, she's got a cap on her head and a backpack which sort of represents the turtle shell for the Kappa. It is unknown at this point if Nitori is actually bald under there, but the classic Kappa, Japanese Kappa have a little dish on top of their head that they need to fill with water or else they will die on land. And they both love cucumbers. The traditional Kappa has a beak, Nitori doesn't. But Nitori's just very cute.
Also, the classic Kappa, they have a habit of eating children, but we know Nitori probably won't do that.
And other things from other places.
That does not need to be discussed here.
From behind.
That's enough.
I mean,
That's kind of wrong.
No more of that.
All right, and here we've got the
Classic Crow Tengu. And the Japanese Tengu, or the classic Tengu that everybody knows, are more so half human, half bird. There are also wolf Tengu as well, which...
Right here.
Yes, right there.
we love Luigi. And so as you can see, Zun's iteration is not just half human, half bird. It's more human than bird. They do both have a token hat. They both have wings, and there's like a fan versus a staff. Some images of classic traditional Tengu have the little pom poms that adorn Aya's hat.
Here we have Nekomata.
It's a little bit hard to see the Nekomata in the black and white picture.
Think of a cat with two tails.
Yeah, it's just the cat standing there. It kind of has like a hat on its head, if you can see that. So Zun's Nekomata tend to have the power to turn into cats. He hasn't shown that with Chen, but he's shown that with other Nekomata like Orin. They all have cat ears. They have two tails.
There's one exception to Orin, who has 4 ears for some odd reason.
Yes, she does have 4 ears. She has pointed ears and cat ears. So
She's just weird.
yes. And here we've got Kitsune. So as you can see up there on the picture, the Kitsune we have there is at the very top of that traditional painting. So they both have 9 tails and yellow fur, and they both have fox ears. They both are very, very old foxes. Kitsune, I believe, what was it, every 100 years?
Yes, each tail represents 100 years.
Yes. And once they've gotten 9 tails, they become extremely powerful, but not quite as strong as Yukari. Yeah. And there we see Ron Yakumo with a cat, Chen. So. Surprised. Here we have Carracasa. These are umbrella yokai. The Carracasa start out as just normal umbrellas. After 100 years, after the 100th birthday, some items will become yokai, which happen to spacing. Carracasa here, yes. So similarities. They both got umbrellas with tongues, with also feet. Some versions of the Carracasa do show the Carracasa wearing geta on their one foot. But Zun's version, has to be moe. So he attached a girl to the to the umbrella, sort of like Medicine Melancholy, where I believe the actual yokai is the doll. I believe. And then,
it says it's unknown. You don't know.
Yeah, it's unknown.
Aki says she has no idea.
Yeah, it's debatable. And here we've got Zune. And it's believed that Zune wishes to be the little girl, which is why they look so similar, possibly. But
also, Aya is his favorite character. Well, he states that it's his favorite character out of all the Touhou characters, but I think it's Yuka.
Yes!
And of course, Zune has his beard there. So. All right. And so, moving on, the next section is about the official works. So, games, music CDs, books, comic books, all written by Zune. Not necessarily drawn by Zune, but...
In the example of the official manga works that he does, he has somebody else draw for him, and he just does the story and whatever else that he feels.
All right. And so the main games in the series, there are 12 as of right now, 12 in the of the main storyline games. So you've got 5 PC-98 games, Highly Responsive to Prayers, Story of Eastern Wonderland. I'm not going to name them all, but you can see them there. And you've got 12 main Windows games.
7.
So after the
7.
first game, they all sort of turned into shooting games. A couple of them are similar to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the series Twinkle Star Sprites. It's a top-down shooting game that has like 2 screens of characters. Those are the Phantasmagoria games, and I am praying that 13 is another Phantasmagoria. Mima. Yes. Mima. Okay. Anyways.
She's never coming back.
One day she will.
Don't say that.
The spin-offs that he has done are as follows. He has the fighting games with Immaterial Missing Power, Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, and Touhou Tensoku. And with Hisa Tensoku, there is a tournament tomorrow, I think 2:30, for that. So anybody that's a fan of the fighting games and feels to enter, check that out later. They should have a sign-up sheet already out.
And then, as mentioned before, there are also the photography games starring the Tengu in the series. The first one stars Aya, the second one stars Aya, but you can eventually play as a new character, Hatate Himekaido. And she is also a Tengu who, it seems like she blogs, but there's no computers in Gensokyo except for my shop. So,
Her phone was made by the Kappa.
And the newest game in the series, Fairy Wars. It's Shirno's time to shine. This game is a spin-off of the Strange and Bright Natured Deity manga, written by Zune, illustrated by Clash House. Right? Clash House. Yes, I believe so. I don't know. But anyways, it stars Shirno. She can dodge bullets like every other Touhou. She can shoot, but she can also freeze the bullets and create just giant chains of ice. She cannot freeze flaming Danmaku, and she has to fight the 3 mischievous fairies. And there are various print works in the series. There is, as I mentioned before, Strange and Bright Natured Deity, starring those 3 lovely fairies right there, Luna Child, Sunny Milk, and Star Sapphire. There are other books besides manga. There are storybooks like The Curiosities of Lotus Asia, which talk of my exploits from my point of view, and just my everyday life surrounded by magical girls blowing up my shop. Okay. And Zune also he doesn't just put his music in the games. He also releases CDs from time to time with music. He gives us fans hope by putting like little images of Mima on covers of her CDs and making us want more. But also the music CDs are where humans from the outside world have been introduced to the Touhou series. Renko Usami, Renko Usumi and Maribel Han. They are college students who live in the outside world, which is our world. They are part of a sort of horror and occult club, but they're constantly looking for traces of Gensokyo. Maribel can actually sees images of Gensokyo in her dreams, so it's sometimes believed by some fans that she has some connection to Yukari, especially since they look so much alike. So.
Some people feel that way. Some people say that when Maribel dreams, when she sleeps, she becomes Yukari. Whenever Yukari sleeps, she becomes Maribel. But
which means Maribel probably stays up a long time because Yukari sleeps forever.
18 hours.
Here we have the This is a way that a lot of people over the years have gotten into Touhou, specifically Iosis and a few other things, but mostly Iosis.
Wildfire.
Yes. Yay.
There's lots of different doujinshi, just fan comics by lots of different artists. So here we've got, let's see, we've got Rando House, we've got Flip Flops pictured, and Wiz Garage, which is Cho Marisa, which is just, huge buff Marisa.
It's very scary.
It is very scary. They tell different stories. Some of them, since Zoom doesn't go into deep backstory for some of the characters, some people make up their own backstories. I highly recommend the doujinshi, Two Scarlet Sacraments in the Starry Sky by Flip Flops. Very, very good. It's my favorite retelling of embodiment of the Scarlet Devil.
I like Angel Type. He's really adorable.
Oh god.
Yes, Angel Type, who does Inusake here.
Yes!
What do you do?
Okay.
What did I do? Oh, nothing. Here we have the fan games. Over the amount of years, a lot of different companies have been making fan games. A lot of them stray away from what normal 2D, the normal shooting version that Touhou is. It goes everywhere from RPGs to side-scrolling games to even, yes, here it is.
Dungeon crawlers.
And then, so we're gonna take this opportunity to show you one of them. I think we're gonna do which one? Super Marissa Land, which is a
Yes!
LA. You can
Super Marissa Land.
new Super Marissa Land.
Want to do it or you do it?
Okay.
Are you gonna do the level with the mega mushrooms?
Oh. Just gonna go through real quick levels here. Oh noes! Alright, so I'm going to show off Alice's house. This doesn't really have much to do with the plot of the story. Marissa's 6 mushrooms have been stolen. But Alice doesn't have any of those mushrooms. She's just sort of there and in the way. So let's go beat her up.
Thanks!
The Super Marissa Land series is kind of an ongoing thing. There was Super Marissa Land and Super Marissa World, and we have now new Super Marissa Land, which is definitely a lot better than the other two.
Okay, I'm not worrying about 100% of this for now. Yay, mushrooms!
Also, in this, Marissa has the ability to get different items the other characters such as Raisen, Inaba, and Yukari, Akumo, and Reimu.
And Tenchi.
Cute dummy. No!
It's getting a short.
So this obviously is a parody of the first castle in Super Mario World with these walls that move back and forth and back and forth. I don't know if I'll get a chance to go on that one.